such a
Did you get the show notes?
Oh my god. I was like, what the hell is this? I didn't order anything.
Oh man, I fucked up. I had 2 addresses. I was supposed to send you the show notes and a bag of dicks to Justin Trudeau, Canadian Prime Minister. If I'd known he was going to get the show notes, I would have written in there like not to wear so much blackface.
Not to wear so much blackface in public.
Ah, well, I fucked that up. Maybe next time you get the show notes. All right, you're listening to the return of Max and Chet. We're coming at you from the land of the hippies, homeless, and homosexuals. I am your host, Chet Morton. If I ever disappear on Family Medical Leave Act and no one wants to know why and you're too afraid to ask HR because it's none of your goddamn business, the real reason is because I'm in rehab. I want to let you know that right now. I am joined...
Rehab's for quitters.
I'm joined by Lydia Listerine. She has the voice of an angel and the hair of a demon.
Not a stripper.
Not a stripper. Still not a stripper.
Still not. Future's wide open, though.
We also have Max Danger. He likes to mail bare naked ladies postcards filled with chimpanzees.
Mm-hmm.
That's hot.
Our first section, we got another review.
Uh-oh.
It was great. This one's by Donald T. It says, if I ever made a podcast, it would be fabulous, way better than this one.
Probably,
That guy does a lot. Like, this guy's up all night, and he's, like, on his Twitter at 3 a.m. and shit. I think he should just focus. I don't know. I assume he's
He
got a job.
probably has a job, I would hope.
A job or something. Something
Yeah,
he
Donald
should be doing.
T. You probably have a job.
He
You should probably
probably
focus
Probably
on
be
that.
working on your job, doing whatever you're supposed to be doing.
Probably needs a lot of beauty sleep.
Just quit drinking so much Diet Coke, staying up all night.
We assume.
Diet Coke.
Making assumptions here.
It's the assumption.
They
I read
make
into these
Diet
things. You send a tweet like that, and you know it takes one to know one. I drink me some Diet Coke. You guys know that.
I can't.
I like Coke.
Me too.
Never had Diet Coke though. Is that
You're always,
for like?
you're
is that
always
like
on
a
a diet when you're
bender?
using.
Is that a bender though?
It's
Use it as
technically
your
a diet if
diet?
you're having Coke, because you're not eating.
So last week we talked about signals, and I remember I was messing with your stuff, Lydia, and you could tell I was doing something and it drew your attention and all
I
that.
definitely had an emotional reaction.
So
I don't think it got me wet though.
right. No, it wouldn't. But it would be like, what's this guy doing? It would draw your attention.
Okay.
And
As long as that's all it was supposed to do.
So in the pickup community, they call these kinds of things an indicator of interest, or an IOI. Is what?
I am
This
familiar
is so
with
weird.
IOUs.
IOUs.
That's
an
what I'm familiar
IOI.
with.
It's so weird
Indicator of interest.
that there's like names for this.
Yeah, there's so much
games.
vocabulary, and
It's a game.
well, it is.
Yeah, I mean, look, I like meeting women too and having sex and all that stuff, but to seriously dedicate all your time and effort and energy
no.
to only being a man whore
No,
seems
that's-
a little excessive.
That's not. No, I think you're. I don't know who you're.
No, this is literally
if
what
you're
they
talking
do,
about
right?
me or
no,
some people.
no,
Okay,
that's what
right.
these so-called pickup artists,
Right. Some do, yeah.
air quotes.
Right. But for me, it was helpful because these things don't come naturally. I'm kind of stupid when it comes to social things, and when I have this, this is what's going on here, and this makes sense, and I'm able to kind of categorize it and use it. But I do agree, and what happens is it becomes addicting. Once it works a little
You
bit.
never find a real relationship that way, though.
Oh no, people do. People do. Yeah.
And they just settle down. They stop doing that. And they stop being this d-bag.
Yeah.
It's a miracle.
It happens. It does happen. But
It's
the
a miracle,
reason
Mario.
it could take a long time, because where are you going to go to meet these bars and all these other
Yeah.
places where you would meet people that for not
That works
long-lasting
on.
relationship, right? Well, no, it works on. Actually, it turns out, weirdly enough, the more intelligent the woman, the easier, because the like these dumber broads that are drunk and stupid, they have like ADD, and it's so hard to hold their attention on something that they're just distracted. So it
Damn,
actually
I
works.
feel attacked.
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
I seriously feel attacked. Well, we just went
I'm
through
not a broad,
how
but I wasn't
I'm
paying
brilliant.
attention.
No, you are intelligent. So I'm saying that this would work better on
I just
Lydia than
don't
some
agree
of
with the
our
whole-
karaoke
I don't agree with the whole
peers.
thing.
Really?
You don't agree with the what?
I don't know.
don't
It just
know.
seems
I was really
you're
mean to
you're
boys.
using tricks and games to get what you want.
It's not. Well, so
I
an
mean-
IOI, all you're doing is recognizing this person has expressed interest in me.
See, that's okay. I understand. Understanding.
Well,
that's
like me are
understanding
too-
body
social
language.
cues.
That's basically understanding social cues
Right.
and body
People
language.
like me are too stupid to figure some of that stuff out. And then I might go overboard, and they do tell you to assume an IOI.
Just
if you're
assume
not,
that they want my
if
bone.
you're not sure,
Damn.
if you're like, well, I don't know, then you just assume, well, that was an IOI, and then you look for the
They're
next
just
one.
forcing confidence on you, huh?
It's-
With these like
what I've found,
tips and tricks.
what I've found in my personal experience so far is that an IOI typically was that. It was an IOI. So far.
typically.
There have been cases, and then there's other cases where you don't know what changed. It could have been that I showed a woman a picture of me in a pink shirt, and then now she won't show up for any of the dates. You know, like it could be that, right? That's a possibility.
Probably not, though.
You don't think that's what happened?
I don't think that's what happened.
But so you can have the IOIs initially, and then and see when they're not coming, or when you get the opposite, or what might be a shit test, then you know that too. Like you catch up on that. But my final note for this thing on IOIs, I figured since we did beta male orbiters last week, which we'll talk about again this week. But I figured this could be a show about this kind of lingo that I learned. I really went hard into this for about 3 months.
Yeah.
Now
I remember.
Whoa.
he remembers. Max remembers.
Yeah,
but
it was
now
a
I'm
fun
kind
3
of
months to hear about it constantly.
now I've laid off, and it's no longer my obsession. But it's still I'm trying to take the interesting aspects of it and
You
share.
learned stuff.
But if a woman should say, "Hey, I may have to sit on your face later," I just want to say that's an IOI. Confirmed. Okay, that's what that means. That's a subtle one.
yeah.
A subtle one.
Subtle, very subtle.
Very
I
subtle.
mean, you could read into it that it's that way.
I don't know
but
if you should totally read between the lines there. You should just probably
just sit on it. Oh, wait, yeah.
take it as fact.
Take it as okay, right. Don't have to obsess about that one.
Probably not.
That
I
brings me
wouldn't
to
do
the
that.
famous Max and Chet return after party. I think someone told me that.
Yeah, we have an
after
after party. We pretty much have an after party story for every episode.
So
because
far,
it seems
yeah,
like
that was crazy.
every,
That was the
after every
craziest one,
time
though.
we have after parties.
That was the craziest
Yeah,
one.
that we were the drunkest. That's
That
for
was the
sure.
crazy.
Holy
Drunkest.
moly.
And while I was talking
We went
about
to other towns and shit.
Good
Right.
lord. I had to go to
Yeah,
work.
what happened?
I had to go to work. I
Didn't
don't
we get back
know.
like 3 or 4
I
in the
don't
morning?
remember. No, didn't we go to like
we got
Out
there.
to eat
Diner?
and shit?
Yeah, we went to eat, and then I had. So you guys were laughing at me because I was trying to lower this girl's expectations. I'm like, look, I'm really drunk and I never stay up this late, and
Oh,
nothing.
see, I thought you were like trying to make her feel special because
No,
you're like, wow, I never
she
do
pretty
this.
much said in the
but
car
I'm
that she was
doing
gonna
it
fuck
for
you.
you.
Though, so I don't
Right.
think
And
you
then-
had to do anything.
But I was trying to lower her because I knew.
But then there was that whole other thing too.
So at the after party, let's start at the after party. Here, we're jumping ahead here. We went to a bar.
We went
in
out of
another
town.
right,
We went out of town.
and we closed that bar down. I got really fucking drunk.
right, you did.
And,
You were
and-
put on a water diet.
And I was put on a water diet.
you
but
put
the good
yourself
thing
on a
was-
water
I
diet.
did.
But the
I
good thing was
powered
the bartender
through.
was cool enough. Like every time I drank a water, she'd give me more alcohol
Right.
afterwards. Then I had to
Right.
drink another water. Like I
Oh
wasn't
yeah,
cut
that's
off.
the thing. No,
Right.
you just are put on a water diet.
So and then even at the end of the night, I got a road beer. So that was fucking
Right,
cool.
right. Oh yeah. That was cool.
Yep.
yeah, I got.
That's my
Max's
phone.
I was put on like you're responsible for the people you bring
No.
type thing, and I'm like, how?
What did we do?
These are grown adults. How
Yeah.
am I responsible for anyone?
If she so
we didn't do anything crazy.
if
No,
we're-
but I mean, I bring people all the time,
okay.
and this is kind of usually what happens.
oh, I see.
Because people don't realize that they're gonna have to be there forever.
Right.
Like,
but that's why I took the hiatus
from
for an
9
hour and a
to
half, and I set the
3.
timer, and that worked out for me in the end. By the way, I
And
don't
somehow
think-
by the end of the night, both my elbows, the skin was missing from both my
right.
elbows.
I remember
And I
this.
did not fall down.
What the hell?
How did this happen? Like,
That is so weird.
I don't know, man.
So the bartender was
healing up
saying
now.
that
Maybe
you,
it was the
you
brick
just
walls or
leaned on the
something.
bar like for a long time. Is what she had said.
Yeah, but
You were just,
long
like,
enough
hanging
and
on it.
hard enough to like rub the skin
just
off
like,
my
That's what
fucking
she was
elbows.
saying. That's what
Just
she was
rub my
saying.
elbows, grinding them and shit. Like, I don't remember
That's what
that,
she was
but
saying.
Yeah, so that was
it happened. I woke
wild.
up the next day, both my elbows were fucking
But
hurting.
you know,
It
in a
was definitely
sense,
a wild night.
the bartender is in the spot because if she 86 is your friends and you're their ride, and you know,
You got to go sit in the car, bud.
right? There's that. I mean, yeah, maybe,
I've had to do that.
But this chick Penelope
Okay.
though
You've
came
had
like,
friends
left
that
the
had to
bar
do that,
with
or you've
us.
had to do
Well, I've had to put people in the car.
it. Right. Okay.
And I'm like, you're done. I'm
Let's-
drunk
let's-
too,
But maybe she doesn't
you're
wanna-
dumb.
I want to
Maybe-
tell our viewers all about
don't know,
Chet's amazing night here.
Chet,
Okay.
okay. Well, we're still
You
talking
know,
about that.
we left the bar that night eventually,
Right.
and you know I was fucked up when I was singing karaoke. Like,
Right,
that shit
right.
don't happen.
Dude, you
Right.
sing so many songs.
Yeah.
I was fucked
Yeah.
up.
Once.
But anyways,
That's pretty cool though.
Was this kid?
I
so
love
this
it.
this woman
karaoke?
Penelope, right, lives with us,
Yeah.
and before, we're going from that town back to the town we live in.
Also, the bartender. I wanted to add.
Yep. And she's talking in
I
the
guess
in
that's
the
a
in the
thing.
in the vehicle on the way back. She's gonna fuck Chet.
She didn't say that
Yeah.
quite explicitly.
No, I'm
she said
pretty
she was going to
sure
sit
she
on my
did.
face later, I believe. She said something like
She
that.
said something else too about like, yeah,
Oh,
I'm gonna
right,
be
that
sleeping
too.
with this guy,
Something.
Right.
and sure enough, good
That
old
was a
Chet
weird- that
sealed
was-
the deal.
That was a,
Proud of you, brother.
that
Um,
whole thing was weird because
and
there's so
this
much
was-
more.
And we went to a diner. We didn't make it home till like 3, 4 in the morning or
It
some
was
shit.
way later than that.
Was it later than that?
Yeah.
It was like 6 or 7.
No, man.
It was so late.
So I
Early,
told that
early.
I told that Penelope the narrative that she may have overserved me and taken advantage of me. She doesn't appreciate that.
You're such a dumbass. Why would you say that, dude?
That's hilarious.
It is hilarious.
It's funny.
That's something you say to her after a while, not the first night.
No, the first of that morning, I was like, let's do this again. And
That's
by the
some shit
way-
I would say.
You say it while you're doing it again?
I'm like, let's
Stop
do this
taking
again.
advantage of me.
That's right. Exactly.
God.
Exactly. Exactly.
That was a really fun night. I don't really remember too much at the bar
Oh my gosh.
So,
to drive us around.
Lydia, you were concerned that you may be responsible, and I thought of the verbiage in my brain is you might be responsible but not culpable, and that is for both the relationships that I get into and Max. This occurred to me because you give us social proof that we're not going to cut people up and put them in our freezer. Most likely, like you don't know that for
I
sure.
don't know that for sure.
You don't know that for sure.
Well,
No.
hanging around you makes
But
us
I
less
mean,
of a
I-
loser.
Exactly.
We're less of
And
a
you
loser.
built us up. And-
It's social recognition or whatever.
right. Social proof is actually what it's called in the
Social
biz.
proof.
In the
Social
biz,
proof.
the
In the
woman
biz.
getting biz.
Yeah, the game biz. And I just
Con
wanted to
artist.
acknowledge that. I know Max and I had an argument pre-show where I think that every woman wants my bone, but I would not have been as successful. I am successful because we hang out with Lydia and Sarge, and that gives us a social validation
I'm saying
we,
with
That
that we wouldn't
scares
have
me
had.
because I'm not cool.
You assume this woman wants this other woman wants your bone, but she keeps
Which-
canceling on everything. She talks
No.
you into joining things,
Oh,
and then she
you
doesn't
missed
even
that
show
part
up.
of the conversation. She may have changed her mind when I showed her a picture of me in a pink shirt.
Oh,
but
yeah.
we did talk for. I'm saying I had those all those signals initially, all those IOIs, and then I don't have them now. I just have awkward conversations because we were going to date and now we don't.
You don't
So
think
it's
that
weird.
some of those IOIs, you don't think some of those are just like
That's my point. Is
casual?
like
just-
people at work tend to flirt with each other.
This specific
Some people
one,
just like to flirt for the attention.
This one
Some
where
people
she
are
was
just handsy, you know. Some people have no
Yeah.
personal boundaries. Some people are over
You're gonna
friendly.
take this from me?
And I'm not saying that that's all. A lot of them could be IOIs, but some
I'm
of
saying
them.
with this one in particular, I'm going to say yes because
She's
You're
canceled
just
on you
supposed
like
to
how many
assume.
times?
Yes.
How many times has she canceled on you?
You're supposed to assume that
times?
it's an IOI.
So that's your
twice.
problem. You're assuming.
twice.
But
When
that's what they say to do.
when I met this one, remember I had so many signals, and then I went back and asked her out, and she did say yes, even regardless if she stood me up later. She said yes.
But did she have the intention of standing you up when she said yes? She was like, "Oh, it's a morning date. It's easy to get out of."
I don't know. Why would you say yes when you plan on staying? Isn't it
Because
easier
it's
to say
easier than
no?
saying no.
Really? It's easier than saying no is to go show up somewhere, and
Excuse me.
that's fascinating.
I don't know.
She just.
I don't know.
I'm telling
She
you.
just. It's a fun thing for her, you know.
I'm telling you to ask my sign, to say you're compatible with my sign, run on and
And
on
you
about
do-
your birthday and
we
say you
just
didn't get
talked
any
about
gifts.
you and Penelope. You do have good enough luck with the ladies. My whole point is that not every time a woman talks to you or touches your hand
I wanted to go over that one
brushes
too.
her eyelashes doesn't mean that she wants your bone. Is all I'm saying.
She might just want you to buy her a
Right,
drink.
right, okay. And I want to clarify when I say, "Oh, this woman wants my bone," that's might not be what I mean literally. I mean she wanted.
You do well with the ladies.
She wants your
I'm not
attention.
saying you don't.
Right, wanted my attention. She might have wanted to go out on a date. She might have wanted me to buy her a drink, something like
Yeah.
that. But
She wants
I
your
take that and as an exaggerated thing, I'll say. And
I get that.
And I want to correct myself. I wasn't being precise in my speech. They don't necessarily want to sleep with me, and I should.
All right, I'm tracking now. I'm
Okay,
tracking.
so I wanted to get that out. That's where I'm going to say I was wrong.
See, I was thinking you literally thought
That they
chicks
just
want to sleep with you.
Right.
I think
Their
it's
end
just
goal.
funny. It's a funny.
That
They're
is
just like,
one of-
I need some Chet in my life.
I
I
need
can't rest.
We all need.
Can't die happy.
We all
without
need Chet in
a
our
Chet.
life.
I must say, though, my relationships last longer when a woman is more into me physically than anything else. I've tried like spiritual connections and mental and brains and the physical.
Isn't it a
seems to be-
combination?
It should be.
Because you can't
But
have.
with me, I'm.
Because
the
that's
long
not like
terms, there
a
has to be a physical
meaningful
connection.
relationship.
You have to have the physical, and
But
then
it's
the
just
real
that.
long terms is where you have the physical and the emotional and the mental. You know.
Right.
But
what
you
happens,
can't have a long-term relationship if you're not making each other
my
physically happy.
best relationships are when a
God.
girl really doesn't like me, but she keeps making excuses for my bad behavior, my poor, or the things that I do or whatever it is. Drink.
And
or
this
what-
is healthy.
Do a lot of women make excuses?
This is my
for you?
longer lasting relationships. Yes. I don't know if it's healthy. That's a strong word.
What do you mean by like? What's the second longest?
The second.
Like, because you were married forever, right?
Right. I was married for 13 years, so my second
Yeah.
longest relationship was 8 months, and we've gone.
And you're
back-
comparing these
8
two,
months and 13 years. Those are like huge.
like 13 years and a bunch of kids and like
And
real
what was
life.
your third, the longest after the 8 months?
A week and a
That would
half.
have been with the doctor,
Oh.
probably 3 months.
3 months.
See, there's a big.
But I have a lack of
big
experience.
differences.
I mean, that's why I got to read books and shit. I don't know.
How
what
do
I'm
you have a
doing.
lack of experience when you were
No, you
married for
live in your
13
Yeah, but that was
years?
That's
that was
the
a
problem.
shitty. Well, that too. But
You
that's
need to
You
get
didn't
out of
learn
your head.
anything though?
You have
Well, I
women that
learned-
are interested in you, and you're overthinking everything.
the thing is.
I
No one
understand
is
not
as bad as my
understanding the
ex,
social-
and actually, I can and to be fair, no
Oh,
one
that's a horrible.
no one is as bad as Max's ex. So
These are horrible things. Like that's how I feel like I get away with a lot of shit with him because I'm not as bad as his
Right.
fucking ex.
right, but you can't help. You're like, well,
You know what I
God,
mean? Like,
stayed
that's
with this
horrible.
crazy
You can't help
person
but compare.
for 13
Yeah.
years. I stayed with it. It's like, well, this is just nothing compared to that. So I have a hard time with those kinds of boundaries and stuff. And I'm not after long term. Like I'm not looking for the book.
Are you sure? Because like,
You seem to me. I don't know if I've
You
said this
are
on the show,
super-
but like I have a name for you.
yeah.
What's that?
Habitual monogamist.
Yes, I am that. I am that. I
So
don't
why
like,
wouldn't
I don't like
you-
multitasking.
No,
Why
you're
would
a
you
habitual
want
monogamist. That's what I'm
that?
saying.
Why
You
would
wanna
you look
use
for
these
that?
Find a one-night stand tricks. You're trying to find these. You listen to all these the game. You know, like
Right.
you read all these books and listen to all these audiobooks on how to find a woman in one night.
No.
But then you want
no.
to have them a long term, and those two are not compatible,
No, this is
bro.
more than that. It's relationships, building rapport. There's way more than just. Yeah, if that's all you want to do, then yeah, there's tricks to that.
oh,
But
you're
it's,
like learning how to like be with someone.
some of that. Yeah, it's if you can imagine someone was born like with autism or some shit, and when they're young, you got to train. Like this is shit that people
You're
know.
socially autistic.
Yeah,
Well, I
get-
have a
and-
lot. I've had to teach myself a lot of things because I've like
Yeah, don't pick.
kind
like-
of dead
like-
inside.
Like
Right.
most women.
You know what I
like, Did you have
mean?
to teach yourself how to get off?
No, I had to like teach
Bada
myself that
boom.
people might actually like me.
All right. Yeah.
I was like, you know, super dead inside, like
Aw,
just.
I feel you though.
But like, no, people like
People
me.
do like you though.
It's
a lot.
weird.
You're
It's
pretty
very
popular.
strange
Lydia Lestrine.
because
is the,
I was always invisible.
And you're an authority, I
The
think, at the when you
pimp shit.
legitimize
And
us, as weird as that might
think
sound, but
this has always been a thing, but that being a thing and accepting it
right,
and
yeah,
like being that is something completely different.
right.
So like everyone sees me that way, but I don't see myself that way.
I think this segues
So it's
into
very strange.
our next point. We
Uh-oh.
talked about beta male orbiters, and Lydia told that to Chris fucking Hemsworth. She's like, "Oh, you're my beta male orbiter," and like, what the?
Does anyone remember the context though? Because I can't remember
Chris
it.
You can't.
Hemsworth.
Chris.
What did
so,
I say?
So remember Thor?
What was he saying to me?
This is the
Which
after
one was
party.
Thor?
He was sitting at the
Which
Thor
one
was
bar.
party?
the guy that looked like
At the-
Chris
at the
Hemsworth.
Where was
bar.
this at? Was this last week's?
That was in the
Lakeside.
other town.
So this was at the other town.
Believe
Yeah.
It. Yes. I can believe
I
it.
do not remember him. but it sounds familiar.
looked
I
like
was
Thor.
Remember him? Yeah, you love
I
looked
remember
like
Thor.
Thor.
Did I
You kept
nickname him Thor?
Yes, you
Yes.
did.
This sounds
You
like
did.
something I would do.
You did.
Totally did.
You did.
It was
That
all
was all you.
Oh yeah, this
kept
sounds
calling
like
him
I would
Thor.
do it.
So you and I, like, we're kind
I
of.
don't remember him, but it sounds so familiar.
We
Like-
sort
It'll
of
all come back
elevated.
to you.
no, well, I was
We
drunk.
sort of elevated him above us.
Yeah.
Where we're like, oh, you look like Thor, man. Oh, how
You're
badass. is you?
automatically
Right,
better
right,
than me.
Right. We kind of did that.
If I look like Thor, I'd automatically be better than you, Chad.
Right,
Like,
exactly.
that's just how
Exactly.
it is.
That's how this hierarchy works.
Yeah,
Oh,
fucking
man.
done.
So he tells Lydia that he loves all her music and just wants her to sing this, that, and
I
follows
do.
her.
Yes.
That's what it was.
And you're just like, oh, you're my beta male orbiter.
Totally blew him off.
She told that to fucking Thor.
God bless you, Lydia. That's how badass she is.
That was pretty great, though.
So that was amazing.
It felt really good, though. I can say that.
And then you were
It felt
telling
really great.
you were telling Penelope because she's like,
Mm-hmm.
well, he's my beta male orbiter. You're like, no. If you're having sex with him, then she says,
like,
I'm not having
nah.
sex with these guys. They're my
They're
beta male
still, I
orbiters."
said, they're still my beta male orbiters. Sorry,
Even
but
if you're banging them, they're mine.
they're mine.
So
my
Lydia's the
posse.
alpha.
They're
We're just Lydia's
dipsies.
posse.
That's
Pretty
right.
much.
We're Lydia's posse, but I'll take that role. It's
Fuck
just worked
yeah,
out for
Will.
me. Yeah.
At least I'm in
Worked out
somebody's
great.
You guys
we got,
are awesome.
We got a driver. We got so,
You're like
I mean,
my bestest friends
It's been
ever.
magical. Shoot, update on weight loss and punishment. I was hoping
Oh.
we were going to weigh in. I forgot.
Yeah.
Did you think of an actual punishment, Matt?
Yeah.
I
you?
did. The haircut.
You-
I'm gonna pick
you're gonna
because
do
I'm
the
gonna win,
haircut?
and I'm gonna pick your haircut.
Oh my. Oh, haircut. Okay.
So you got to keep it growing.
Yeah, don't get a haircut between now and then,
Yeah.
dumbass.
Okay. I was.
But when is this?
growing
Is
it
it
out
at
for
the-
the
I had a
31st.
really
Is
good one in
this
mind,
at
but
the
I'm not going to do
end?
that because you have a semi-professional job or you have to be around people.
Yeah, no
and
Nazi
somewhat.
shit or anything
No,
like that, right?
that's stupid. I don't
Right.
condone that. Come on.
That reminds
Well,
me of
it'd
the
be fun
spank
to watch
bank.
No,
someone
that would be
suffer
not
like that.
fun.
Well,
To watch
reminds
my
me of
friend
my
get beat
spank
up,
bank
and then I have to
picture.
go jump in
I
because
plan
I'm
on-
the one who
I
started this.
plan on highlighting you in a pink shirt in like a bar and singing music about it and shit like that.
Well, when I get in a fight, you better help me
No.
out, dick. But no, I'm thinking I was going to have you shave my name in the back of your head.
Oh, I thought you were
But
going to
that's
say his
not
back.
very,
so hilarious.
I thought you were
'cause that's
gonna say
my
his back.
boss's name.
So, but I don't know if that would work well because you couldn't walk around in the place. You deal with the public a
That'd be
lot,
fine.
and
You
could
and
give him,
younger
like-
adolescents even.
You could
Maybe
give him
fine.
cool
Tell him, hey,
steps
careful
and
what
Yeah,
stuff.
kind of
maybe
steps you
you
make.
will. But I had another one.
Cool steps.
I
He
was
could
thinking,
totally
like,
do
you know
that.
like a bowl cut or something, like a full-on like shaved.
He would
full-on
really have
shaved
to,
sides.
I would love to do a mullet.
Yeah, well, you got to
enough
keep
to
it
do a mullet.
growing.
Well, no, yeah,
You
right,
don't have enough
keep
to
for
it
a
grow
growing.
while.
but-
I could just not cut it for a certain amount of time.
Like
then do the
from now
mullet.
till then.
Till the
so
end of the second
that's
competition?
The second one, right?
We
But
did
you're
force
all,
that, but-
y'all are going to take
My
the
hair's
There's going to be
holidays
some
off.
sort of stupid haircut involved.
Penelope thinks that you should make me do a full body wax. Apparently, she's mentioned it casually 3,
Yeah,
4, 5,
she
6,
wants-
8
There's a
times.
thing about
Need
Chet.
to do
when-
it for
when
you?
Chet
No.
takes his-
If I lose the
Just
bet,
kidding.
she wanted to-
I was totally
See,
joking.
when Chet takes his T-shirt off, he still has a sweater on
That's
under
correct. That's correct.
it. Chet's, and I'm willing to bet that this
He's
is her way of
furry.
saying she does not enjoy being with a furry.
I think she thought it was funny. That's how I take it. I hope. But
No, if she said this after the
How
first
many
week of being
times
with
did
you,
she say it?
she said
it
this
was
after
the first. It was in that first
Yeah,
weekend.
but she said it
yeah,
a
like
few
first 3
times,
days
She
of
said about
right?
saying
3
you should
times.
wax yourself
She
in the
said
first
it
3
3
days.
times.
She
Not
probably
3
means
times.
it. Like
I think
means
she
it.
means it.
she was just
said.
trying to say it in a nice way.
I should figure out if this is a deal breaker, huh? I'll
Yeah.
see if it's a deal
Yeah,
breaker.
find
You
out.
only have sex with a bear so many times.
I hate being the middleman.
Well, then don't do it. Then just let us break up
pretty
over it
simple.
someday.
I'm pretty
Just let
simple
us-
on that.
But I'm responsible.
See, guys are like, just don't do it then. Hug it. And women are like, oh, but it's like, dude, he has an intermediate friend.
Dude, she. Never mind. I made her cry. Like,
Yeah.
I was wondering if Eric had dementia. I was looking into it, like if there's a test. There's a great flaw in how they diagnose that. They rely on people self-reporting correctly questions on their memory and stuff.
what? Really?
Yeah.
There's
Because
not
they
like
don't
a
know their
brain
memory,
scan or something?
But you could ask him questions that you know the answers about, though, that you were around for his memory. Do you
Yeah,
understand?
but these kinds of questions are like, do you often forget things, or do you misplace your car keys? But
Why would you remember that if you have dementia?
right. it was so.
But couldn't you go from your experience saying like, "Oh, I've seen Eric forget this like 10 times," or
Right.
"I forgot."
It
Couldn't you
should
take
be.
the
I
test
should
for
be the
him?
one. Yeah,
That's
that
what I'm
goes
saying,
and
yeah.
says.
You take the test for him is what you should do online.
So let me tell you the
Probably.
story that makes
Did
me
you
look
take
up
the
the
test?
dementia thing. No, I've not taken it.
Oh.
But I wake up one morning, and I have a bag where I had my beard trimming razor, and it's gone.
God, I thought you were going to say beard trimmings.
Beard, no, beard
Trimmings
trimmings.
bag.
Whoa!
My fucking
Anyway.
trimmings in.
Whoa.
I was going to
It's
melt it
different
down
from
and
my
vape
toenail
it.
bag, so don't get creeped out.
So when Eric first moved in, I said he needed a razor. Oh, I need a razor. So, well, I have 2 of these razors. I bought a second one because I was missing a certain attachment. I said, so you can have this spare one, and then, for like 3 weeks, oh, that works great. I've been using it. Oh, it works great. It works great. And so he had one on his side of the bathroom, and I had one on mine.
Which
the
side is
same
which, by
razor,
the way?
right?
Mine is the one by the toilet where there's no
The
room.
right side.
Yeah, the right
Why
side.
would you give him the good
Clean
side?
one?
That's just where I'm just a gentleman, and that's where I give
Do you have
people that
hand
pay me
soap?
money that live in the house. That's where they get. I have hand soap on hand. I use his for the hand washing and but for shaving and stuff I use my side.
Okay.
I see.
Continue.
So I wake up
Anyway.
one morning, and my bag. I see that Eric has a brand new razor, and I see that my bag is missing, just gone. I'm like, Eric, what happened to my razor? Oh, well, I dropped mine in the water. I had to throw it away. It's like, yeah, well, what about mine?
Yeah,
He
what
goes,
does that have
what?
to do with
He
mine?
goes, what did yours look like? And I'm
Oh,
just
my
like,
Lord.
motherfucker, it was the exact same razor as yours. And I'm just like, what have you been using to trim your balls? And so, anyways,
Lord.
Does he manscape at 68?
oh yeah, he's all about. He's got a whole kit.
I don't even
He
manscape.
learns how to
Pretty lazy.
extend.
I need to.
like
I need
parts.
to get into that.
He
apparently.
does
Apparently it's
exercises
good.
and
Chicks
stuff.
like that.
Yeah, he does exercises,
Oh,
and
it's
then he's
pokey.
got like a box full of toys and lotions, and that's what.
If it's bald or pokey, we don't like it.
So just
Just
trimmed.
so you know.
Just trimmed down though, right? Like maybe some electric equipment with like a low setting or something,
Low setting.
Yeah, I use the
Yeah.
or like attachment.
yeah,
you
an
know?
attachment.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I use like
Anyway.
a 6 or something.
I mean,
just
I don't
keep-
want to
keep
speak
the-
for all
Just
women,
keeping it
but
down, right? You're
I'm
just
going to speak for all women.
turning the bush into some grass or something.
Right, a little bit, yeah, just a little. You don't
Mow
want
the
it.
lawn.
You don't want it
Yeah,
all
just mowing the
crazy,
yard
right?
is all.
You still want
Make
a
it look
lawn,
nice.
but, yeah.
Okay.
So that was my Eric story. I thought of a way. I told this to Lydia already.
I
Max
tried to
hasn't heard
manscape
of it.
once. I'm just not good at it.
I want to hang out with Lydia and Sarge all the time, and the problem is they're kind of at work, and meanwhile I'm just gonna be hungover the next day and all miserable. So I thought of a way to monetize it so that I can hang out with them all the time and just quit my job.
And we're both benefiting.
That's
yeah?
right. They're gonna be my pimps, and I'm gonna get
Man
into
whore?
prostitution.
Gigolo,
Straight up,
gigolo.
dude.
Prostitution.
Dude,
Gigolo.
I could do this.
Yeah, you could pimp him out.
I could totally pimp him out.
Oh, yeah.
Be great.
I mean, have you
think-
guys worked out a percentage ratio here?
I was gonna give you a 10%. Is that
Oh, that's
fair?
pretty
I don't know.
low.
Is that low?
I'm going
That
to need
is pretty
25.
low.
25.
She's doing.
I'm going to
I mean,
need 25.
she's
And I'm your
finding your
wingman.
work.
I'm going to do just as much work as
that
you are.
incentive- incentivizes you to
without Lydia, you're not
raise the
getting
price
any of
there.
it. You're getting zero.
Get me a high end. No, I agree. I agree.
Oh,
I agree, Max. Give me to be one of those high end ones. So well, it's gonna be $2,000.
Yeah.
You know it's
want
gonna
the
be
whole
old
weekend
bitches, right?
package? Yeah, you could be like, you want the whole
It's
weekend
gonna be a,
package?
it's
Includes
gonna be a
two-
bunch of old ladies.
Includes 2 blue pills to use at your discretion.
You can snort them if you want. Boof them. You could boof it. Put it in your booty hole.
Why?
Do you know how many
Really?
times I've had to explain that to people?
Why would
That's
you
the
do that?
weirdest
Penelope
thing
wants to know
me.
how the LGBT rally is.
Tell her we all wore pink sweaters and
Tell her it's going great. We're all here.
rainbow wigs, and we're fucking rocking the figs.
See, I just don't understand. Like, I'm all
Tell her we've
supporting
all
everybody.
got 5
Listen, I have
fucking
something
phone
to say
numbers
here.
from the same sex.
Listen,
Listen.
What are you gonna say?
Guess what?
I'm all. I guess we have been talking about sex a lot lately, but this is because it's on a podcast, okay? Normally, I just literally don't talk about it that much, and it definitely does not rule my life. My family, I take care of my family and all that bullshit, bills, but it seems like gay people being gay is the number one priority in their life. I'm saying this from experience. I have 2 gay brothers. I am the only straight male, other than my father in my family.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, well.
Came from somewhere,
That's
man.
right. But, you know, and it seems like being gay dictates their lives. Like,
But do you
I've never
think
gone
that's
to
because
a-
it's like
I think it's just because they're so. Yes, the gay community is hated on, and so they're
that?
overcompensating.
But they're also like being more accepted,
I
they're
think
just-
it's weird.
it's
and they've always had to like
overcompensation.
try to be accepted. Yeah.
But why should you base your entire life around your sexual orientation?
Right.
I've often
I agree.
wondered this myself.
I agree.
Your entire life should not be
One of my
dictated by
most
something
hated
like
things
that.
is when you have a gay friend and you have to describe them as your gay friend.
Right.
Like, why does that matter?
Right,
Why can't I
right.
just describe them
This is
and
my
they're
friend. They
just
like
my
water
friend?
ski. But every time you get in a conversation, it always turns into
It always comes up.
something about being gay.
Right.
And I'm
Yeah.
like, why?
Right.
I go to
I
the
don't
bar
understand it.
constantly. And I rarely ever turns into a conversation about how I like to fuck women.
Right.
Right?
Right. No, I agree.
Very
See,
super,
yeah,
like
it's-
1% of the time.
Why are you
maybe.
gonna have a
Very
parade
odd.
about it? Like, I'm so excited, I fuck men, a parade, yay! And someone's
Well, that's
inviting me.
different though, because it's not really that. It's like back to the
I get that. That's about being
not
pride.
being
it's
accepted.
not being
And,
ashamed
like,
of who you are, and that's
finally.
fine.
Well, let's
because
have
for
a
so
hetero parade.
long,
No, it's just
why?
stupid.
Why is
We've
that
always
stupid?
been accepted. That's the
Not
the
always.
quote
Sparta.
unquote.
Spartans didn't appreciate that shit.
Okay, well, when you were a kid in Sparta, Chet, I apologize for the torment you went through.
That must have been hard.
But no, I get having pride in something. I do.
I don't understand
And
the
I
parades.
really
Like, let's
support
celebrate we
the
have sex with men.
LGBTQIA or whatever it is up to nowadays. But I really do support them, and I believe
don't.
everybody
They're crazy.
should be allowed to have the privacy of loving the people that they love.
Keyword
Privacy.
privacy.
Privacy. Right. Right.
Word.
It shouldn't
It's
be a
none
thing.
of my business.
It's
who
not
you
a
love.
personality
Yeah,
trait.
It's not a personality trait, exactly. But it is.
Yeah, but it's become that.
Anyways, that was my soapbox.
That reminds me of a joke. And I'm going to
Thanks.
modify the joke just for your little soapbox. Here it
Oh,
goes.
good.
Uh-oh.
Chet's
Here
famous
we go.
jokes.
That's right.
Dad jokes 101.
A vegetarian, a homosexual, an atheist, and a libertarian all walk into a bar. Which one tells everyone about it first?
Is it
That's
all
the
the
joke.
same
That's
person?
the joke because
yeah,
they all
'cause,
got to talk about it. They can't shut up about whatever. They're like, I'm a vegetarian. They have to. Just like,
I'm
they
a
have to
vegetarian. I'm a vegetarian. I'm an atheist.
I'm a libertarian. I
I'm
don't believe in
gay.
government.
Yeah.
And
We had this wild, crazy night in
That is kinda
Portland
funny. Which
where we
one?
went and partied all night, and it was like this Facebook group, and we all like met up.
oh wow,
And one of the girls was like super vegan who did yoga.
And did she talk about it a lot?
Well, no, but we were like, you have to. You have
Why?
to tell people these things because it's funny. Because people start getting offended. So she would literally just walk up to people. Hi, I'm a vegan and I do yoga. We went to a freaking taco cart. I'm a vegan, but I also do yoga.
God.
And it's like everywhere we went
So
in
was she being
Portland.
facetious about it?
Yes,
Yeah,
but she
okay.
really was
All
a
right.
vegan who did yoga.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
but she was being sarcastic and
But
just
it was
an ass about it.
hilarious
That's
because
kinda
people
funny.
are like,
That is
they just start going on
The
tangents
sad
about
thing is
how
there's
these
real
people do
that
that.
do that though.
right, right.
So you're inciting a riot, basically, because that's how angry people get about it.
That's not what I'm saying. I don't. It doesn't bother me that you're a vegan. Why? And then they got to go. Oh, you're killing animals.
Okay, so,
Because being
yeah.
different is cool.
No, do you know an animal would love to eat your face given the chance?
Oh yeah.
Any animal, name the animal, it will eat your fucking face if it
Yeah.
has to.
Well, I saw this thing on Facebook the other day. This lady was like, basically against hunting. And I was like, she's like, oh, why would you just kill an animal? Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, dude, these people are eating it. Like, they're not just killing it.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you could just go to the store and buy meat.
But then it's killed
Wait,
still,
what?
and then- yeah.
That animal didn't even get to like trudge through the forest and
Yeah,
like
the
live a
ones in the
life. Like,
store
what do
are
you
worse.
even
They're-
mean?
yeah.
Exactly.
Oh,
but
they're
that's
kept in
totally
these
okay
coops and
because you
they
didn't
don't
have
get
to look
breathe
in the
and- yeah,
eyes.
but no, this one that actually got to live a good life for an animal. Don't kill that one.
That didn't make sense to me. Anyways, back to topic.
yeah. So I feel like I educate us a lot on stuff. Like I have all these fancy books I read.
Well,
but
I can educate
Yeah.
us on comic books. I read fancy comic books.
all right.
I could educate us on some stuff. I
Well,
don't
that's
know.
what I wanted to
Cookbooks?
do next. I had something for Lydia to tell us about.
Uh-oh.
Because she started on this subject, and I felt like there was more to glean. And I don't think Max has heard of this. What is a house punk, and what do they do, and how does that work? Do
Oh
you know
my
house
God.
punks, Max?
Are they just bitches you make work around your house?
I guess, but
They're punk rockers.
Oh,
Like super punk rockers.
okay.
They're
Because
little
what I
punk
would
rock
call
kids.
a punk is not the same term.
right, but
as-
punk rock kids. what
No,
do they
punk
do?
rock kids.
Kids.
Okay,
keep,
yeah,
keep
no, I'm
going. Tell
tracking.
us. Give us a
Well,
like
they're
a-
not
a
usually. They're
Webster.
like at least 18 or something.
Okay.
But they have like no direction in life. They just like party and
Yeah, they're just
fucking go to
punks.
punk rock shows.
right.
Right
but
on.
you
They're
had-
anarchists.
You had them. Okay, I'm
you
an
know,
anarchist.
so
but you had some as pets.
I'm an anarchist too.
You had some as pets.
Wow, that's amazing. And we have the same MBTI.
So, but
type.
you had them as pets, and did you make them do work for you around your house?
I guess I mean, I
Because
gave them a
did
place
the
to
same
live.
Thing with, I had them. I called them house bitches.
Oh, were they punk rockers?
No, they were
though?
not. But so
Wow,
you just
you
had a
had
house
some
punk.
too?
When I was younger.
Well, they were
Like
they
my
were little
cooler
punk
day.
rock kids.
They were not
right?
punk
like
rock kids, though.
I can show
They're
you.
usually just little house
But,
bitches. They're either people that wanted to hang out and think they were cool because they thought we were the cool crowd. Men
These
and
were
women.
people that actually needed a place to stay.
Oh, so
and
these
I'm
were
like,
men
well,
and women. So, and they just wanted to be included in the cool kids' house because we were the party house.
This is
that's
amazing.
weird.
And
I
so
never
we'd
heard
be
of this.
like, and so to have the privilege to drink with us that night, you better do my dishes and clean my house and vacuum my fucking floor.
This is amazing. Oh,
Okay,
if they're
so
like
these
between
people
18 and
actually
21.
lived with me.
Yeah, see, this
And
is different.
they
See,
were
mine
like
actual house bitches.
my mannies.
Yeah, see,
Like,
were her house bitches
I
too.
worked when I was a single mom. I worked, and I usually I was really
See,
lucky in life. I never really had to
Because
pay
you're
for
a woman, you're not
daycare.
wanting to call them house bitches.
No, they were
And they
punk
just
rockers
but
though.
they just happen to be punk rockers. That has nothing to do with
That's
it.
why we call them house punks.
But they were your
They're
house
totally
bitches.
my bitches. Of
Yeah,
course, they're my
see?
bitches.
They just happen to be punk
is
rockers is all.
amazing.
But they lived there.
Mm-hmm.
They were basically like my wife.
Yeah, and they had to work to get for
I
to
would.
be there for the
I had to go to work, and I worked a lot. I mean, I worked at Subway, but I mean, I worked a lot. You know, I was like the second in charge, and the manager was kind of shit, and she just kind of left me there. You know, so I worked a lot. So they would live at my house, fucking do my dishes,
Yeah.
get the kids off to or get the kids off the bus. I always got them off to school, but you know, give them snacks, make them do their homework, bathe them. They were the wife. They were my
Yes.
wife.
Yeah, good.
And I always found that I was way better at being a husband than I was a wife. Seriously,
easier.
like
All
I
you
would
gotta do is
just
go to
bring
work.
them presents home, you know, like 40s.
Oh,
I'd bring them 40s
You know what?
and fucking snacks.
if my
buy
bankruptcy
'em
doesn't work out, I think I
cigarettes.
want to be your house punk.
You would totally be
Just
my house
bring
punk.
me
We'll just live
40
here.
And, okay.
We're gonna have to
We'll
get
all
you a
live
shirt
here.
with a big anarchy A on it though first.
Big anarchy. My
Have
anarchy
you
is very
teach
specific.
you
I
to
believe in
learn the
property
remote-
rights.
We're gonna
Like,
have to
you
dye his
can-
hair pink.
Yeah, if you
Oh,
can't love the
ooh, pink.
Ramones, then you can't be a house punk.
The Ramones didn't.
The
oh,
first,
right.
the first house punk. Like
You
I'm
Not
wanna be
still,
my girl.
I'm still
Ah.
friends with most of these people too. Like I've known them
Well, do they
since
have
they
their
were
own-
like little
yeah.
kids now. You know what I mean? Like so long ago. But I mean, it works for a while.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I'm with you.
It's
I
just an
understand.
interesting part of it. Like, I studied economics before I proudly dropped out of that subject. But that's in like an economic situation I didn't even know existed. And here you two have both talked about this. I had no idea.
Oh, it totally works.
I'm making a future prediction here, just like you did with Sylvia Brown. Okay?
Uh-huh.
The CW turned Archie, one of the fucking softest comics in the history of comics. It makes fucking Garfield look hard, right?
It's true.
Into a suspense drama, fucking teenage young adult fucking TV show. Yeah, for the CW.
Yeah, that's
And now they're doing the same
shit's
thing
weird.
with Nancy Drew. What? I'm telling you now, the next one up
Hardy
is
Boys?
the Hardy Boys.
Oh my gosh!
I'm telling you.
We got to get this show
This is my
like
jam,
way
though.
better. We got to step up our game, folks, because people
This
will be
is our
Googling
jam.
that shit and they'll
Yep.
be like, who's Chad Morton? Oh, he's got a podcast and everything.
I want
We got
to
to
bone
prepare
him.
for this.
I'm telling you, it's
Yeah.
going to be the next one, dude.
That's right.
I want his bone.
All the 50-year-old married women will want to bone me for sure.
Burr shizzles my nizzles. Anyways, that was my little future prediction.
We've covered a lot
Got it,
of
bud.
this stuff.
Next week, I think we should have Sarge on the show. Though.
I would love to have him on. I don't know where he ran off to.
Lydia,
He went,
what do you say?
He's more
Yeah, your
welcome.
name.
He's my wife.
See, it works.
He
Though.
went to go do wifely things.
Wife things.
Ah, it's so
Errands, chores. Well,
Okay.
you sit
He
here and
probably
talk
went
and
to,
drink
like-
with a couple guys with your buddies.
With my buddies. We should be playing poker.
We do like to play
Smoking
poker.
cigars.
We play poker, and this is what we're supposed to do next.
Yeah, we're setting up
Sunday.
Shit,
We're
you
doing it
guys, I might be a
Sunday
shitbag,
before
huh?
trivia.
Okay, I wanted to finish, or I wanted to tell my crazy lady at the Dollar General story.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
This has got a lot of
Oh, wait a minute.
points
I think
to
I heard
it.
about
Yes, yeah, and I did. Max has heard
I like
this, and then I had a closing
But I love
statement.
hearing your little stories over and
Okay.
over. My
Anecdotes.
friend.
Anecdote.
My
Fake
friend.
name, friend,
Your alias. See, we all
Your
have
cock.
aliases.
Mike Hawk. Okay,
It's right there.
so I was
See
dropping off
See
Penelope.
it.
Chet's alias is my cock.
It's right there. I see it.
All the 50-year-old married women want it.
Ow!
So
He offered me to ride on his hawk, but I
Yep.
didn't.
right around the yard.
What the hell?
In
Okay.
public,
That's
too.
not fair.
So yeah, Lydia hasn't heard this story,
Uh-oh.
but let me.
So you went to drop Penelope off.
And then I went to Dollar General. I bought like the 2 for $1 peanuts, and if they could break 100, I was going to grab a couple protein bars.
Jesus. You're such a dick.
Why am I a dick?
I don't know.
It's a weird move.
Because you're
Went to the
spending
Dollar
a
General to
dollar?
break 100.
I'm going to spend $1.
Have
Can
you ever
break
been
this?
a
Well, no.
cashier?
What?
So I had $2 and a $100 bill, and it's
Oh.
like if they can break the 100, I'm going to buy more
I'm
stuff.
going to spend $3 more.
Right? Exactly.
Okay.
You got $95
Dollars?
you
Yeah.
can spare?
But I'm waiting, and there's this guy who's taking in his recycling, and he's kind of riffraffy,
Oh, Jesus.
and it's taking a long time.
It
And
is that town.
And the guy standing at the cash register, he's screaming, and he's like, I'm going to do names. He's like,
No, don't do it!
Margaret, Tammy, and he's like yelling, and he's kind of like, you could tell he's the bottom of the totem pole, and that one of these people is a manager, but he just kind of doesn't give a shit because the line is forming. This guy can't do anything till one of them get there, and he's just like, Margaret, Tammy.
Oh, my.
And so he keeps, and I wait there for like 10 minutes, just trying to spend $5.
Sorry, Lydia and I are cracking each other up.
I know. Yeah, I
We're
see
still
that.
listening to your
Okay.
story.
We are
Chet.
listening. We
Okay.
can multitask.
It's so important to us.
So finally, Margaret comes and he goes, "Hey, I just needed your key." He's like, okay. And then Tammy comes, and I said, "Oh, that Tammy." And I knew this Tammy.
Oh, yikes.
And so Margaret is going to help me at the cash register, but it's taking her a while to set up. And I asked her, I said, "Hey, can you break 100?" She says, "Oh, yeah." I said, "Okay, I'm going to buy a couple more things." And I grab them like they're right next to me, protein bars. And Tammy walks up to Margaret and says, "Hey, I'm really sorry that I yelled at you." And she did it in a way where I'm like, okay, I was meant to hear this for whatever reason. And then Margaret tries to get back to work so she can help me. And Tammy walks away. Tammy comes back and stops her
Jesus.
again and says, "Hey, I shouldn't have yelled at you like that. That was inappropriate."
You should do this like away from customers.
Right.
Like way away from customers.
And so she goes back. Tammy returns a third time and tells Margaret,
Jesus.
"Hey, no one deserves to be treated like that. I really shouldn't have yelled at you like that." And I realized this was just going to keep going on and on until I acknowledged whoever the fuck that was. And so I said, "Yeah, you don't want to be like that dick you used to work for at the casino, huh, Tammy?" And Tammy turned around, no laugh, not really a smile or anything, and went, "Yeah, exactly."
And who was that dick?
And I was, well,
Jesus.
me, of course.
Chet, who was that
Of
dick?
course it was me, but all I'm thinking is, now that we've established I'm an asshole, can I get
can
my
all
2
move
for
on.
$1 peanuts and get the fuck out of here? Who's
Can
running
move
this
on
place?
Right now, right?
I don't need like an
Jesus.
emotional railroad to buy peanuts here, people.
That's fucking weird.
And I had these other notes. Oh, just that I think I'm a better manager just because, yeah, I was rude to my staff or whatever, my underlings, but I would have never done that passive-aggressive shit in front of a customer. Like, it wouldn't have, not in
Yes.
100 years would I have done something like that.
Well, there's
I had a
rude,
manager
and then
who
there's
used
just
to do
telling
that.
people to do their job.
in front of
though.
the customers? That's
And
pretty-
I would have to tell her, like, dude,
That's not appropriate, right? Yeah. Pull me in the bed. Yeah, you
Not
have
to me. I was the favorite.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
always the
Oh,
favorite.
okay.
Are you kidding me?
But even if you had a problem with me, I'd be like, hey, it's cool you have a problem with me. I want to fix it, everything, but you need to not
She
do
would
that.
like
It
yell
makes-
at other people,
Right.
and I'm like,
Yeah, that's not cool.
My God,
yeah, I get
Lydia.
it. I'm fucking
it's
white.
I just
something-
Look at that.
When I worked with this person, I automatically thought of Max because I'm kind of high speed and high energy and all this, and I know Max is not. So there's like this 10 scale
I'm not either.
of whether you're
That's
like
why
a
we get
crackhead or
it
not.
wrong.
A
And this,
more mellow speed.
you're a between a 0 and a 1, I would say.
Fuck off. I'm not
Nah.
that slow.
0
Just
and
because
a
you're
1.
like a 10, everybody below 8.
No,
is
I was
like,
giving
"Oh, you're
myself-
fucking too slow.
Oof.
I was giving
Because you always
myself
crack the fuck out in your head.
a 6.5 on this scale.
I would know.
Higher than that.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, this Dollar General Tammy lady is an 11.
Jesus.
Wow.
She's way up there, just way up there.
Just for like 3 days, I'd like that much oomph.
Oh yeah, I'm
Yeah.
just full of. I just
get a
wake
lot
up
done.
full of.
Yeah.
Actually, that's
But
why
I got
I
no
have a
drive.
hard time hanging out with you folks because I know I'm gonna be like you the next morning. Like, oh,
You're gonna be like us? What's
Come
so
to the
wrong
dark
with us?
side,
Oh.
I
Chad.
thought we were cool.
Yeah, Chad, we were cool a couple
one of
minutes
the
ago.
yeah.
cool
Well,
kids.
none of y'all have jobs. And
And
you
by
gotta
we, I
start
mean
at 8 in the
Lydia.
morning.
I gotta get kids up.
Well,
I
It's a
have
job.
to do things.
put the VCR on
eventually.
Finding Nemo and repeat. Get up. Put some toast in the toaster and go back
God, I
in bed.
wish that was that easy.
It's not
Oh
that
my
easy.
God.
With
Actually, my
with
kids
mine
have
it
reached the
is.
age they're getting themselves up and stuff.
Mine will never do that. They're ridiculous. They're like,
Okay.
It's been a long.
All right, I wanted to close my note. Do my closing note. We ready?
Sure, let's
I'm
nail
ready.
this to
I
the
was
wall,
born ready.
bitches.
Contrary to Max's opinion, I don't believe every woman wants my bone. Only all his exes and his sisters. Boom!
mic drop.
Mike Jack,
Mic drop.
bitch.
That's
It's
right.
like Mike's hot,
And
but
Right. kinda
my
like Mike's
closing
hot.
remarks are, Chet, I think you're a great human being. I value you as a friend, and I hope our friendship grows and continues for many years to come.
But
No, that's it.
that's it.
I'm gonna
Take the high
road.
ground. I like it.
Love you, brother.
I love it.
I want to second that. That's what I was gonna say.
Perfect.
We got to come up with a name for our followers,
Our followers,
if we ever get any.
Chet heads.
Chet heads, fuck you.
I was so conceited.
Yeah. It says the narcissistic asshole.
That took a lot of effort.
I know, right? His first thing, Chet heads.